Bar Music, and I'm here with
My name is Tomas.
Tomas. Okay. And where are you from, Tomas?
My name is Tomas, born and raised in Miami. Been living here damn near my whole life. And yeah, man, just out here in Wynwood selling vintage clothing right now.
Right. And what got you into fashion?
So what really got me into fashion was like early on in high school. I would used to go thrifting, and I used to throw on the thrifted pieces, and it was just shopping for less. And I was be able to express myself with the different colors of like vintage jackets, vintage t-shirts, and stuff like that. And that kind of was just like allowed me to build my confidence. People would come up to me and be like, "Yo, that's a dope fit, dope jacket, whatever the case is," and that kind of just allowed me to build my confidence. And that's kind of just what led me into thrifting, led me into fashion, really. And honestly, it wasn't something that like I'm super passionate about, but it's definitely something that like I enjoyed. It gave me confidence, and that's something I just wanted to share with other people. And I knew that I could do that with the thrifted clothing. Yes, sir.
Right. And like, how long you been into like thrifting and vintage clothing?
So I've been thrifting since high school, and so that's probably about like 10 years ago. But it wasn't really, I didn't start doing it as like a side job or like an actual job until about 3 or 4 years ago.
Like, where did exactly you find your passion for clothing? Wearing it, thrifting, spending your time thrifting? Because thrifting ain't like easy. Like, it's time consuming, searching for exact pieces and whatnot. So like, what keeps your passion going, and where did you find it?
Yeah. So it really stems from like me being like in high school, really just like really shy kid, wasn't like super outgoing and stuff like that. So going thrifting, shopping for less, like allowed me to express myself through the fashion with like the loud jackets, cool vintage t-shirts, and kind of just allowed me to build that confidence as a person. And so I just kept thrifting as growing older, and then I turned it into a business. It was like a side hustle at first. And so then now it's just kind of like the whole secondhand aspect of it, the whole sustainable fashion aspect of it. It's just, that's where my passion is.
Right.
That's where like helping the planet through fashion, that's like my passion for sure.
Right.
And so if I could do that by selling secondhand fashion and then also allowing people to like gain confidence and express themselves through fashion, that's like kind of like my JOB, and that's what it's all about for me for sure.
Right. And speaking about building confidence, like how do you feel when you got the right fit, everything matching perfect, you put it together, you feel me, you got that shit on?
It just, honestly, it's just like a cool feeling because like I know that I got this for like super cheap. I didn't have to go out and spend money on a crazy name brand, you know. I founded this stuff. I washed it, I brought it back to life, and like that, just that idea of just taking something like that was meant to be thrown away, that just was discarded or whatever, and then repurposing it and then like getting fresh and then like having like building your confidence with it. And it's just like, it's a beautiful thing. And like I feel like with secondhand clothing, like it's just you could just go so crazy with it, and it's just like the boundaries are endless compared to like just any traditional store or whatever. And then honestly, this is like common knowledge, but like a lot of the brands nowadays, they copy like the vintage shit, you know. They base all their designs, all their stuff like off like the vintage shit. So it's like I feel like vintage is like, it's the foundation, it's the base, and it's like, it's what I do.
How did you go about like being a street vendor for like your vintage clothing?
Okay. So I started off just like guerrilla style, just come out here with like a bunch of racks, and then of course I got kicked off.
Right.
And now we have permits to come sell out here, and so yeah, I just have a permit to come sell out here.
Right. So like, I mean, everybody know what this turns out to. You feel me? You start off in the street, and then you get you a store, and then you feel me, you build up from there. This your hustle. Like, what made you like? Cause like it's hard to hustle. Like it's hard to really just like take your time out and really like say fuck a job. I'm gonna just try to build some shit for me. So like, what did it take for you mentally, like, to like take that step forward?
Honestly, man, it just the idea of like having like an office job or working for somebody, that shit just like terrified me. Really, it really did terrify me. So like, I knew I didn't envision myself like in an office or working for somebody. So what really took for me, it was just like honestly like spending 10-12 hours a day, like out thrifting, building my inventory, spending years like selling online, trying to figure out, gauge what people like, and also just figuring out the value of certain stuff too, because like there's so many different niches in vintage that like there's valuable stuff, like vintage Levi's go for a lot of money, or like there's a lot of vintage sports stuff that goes for a lot of money. So it's more so like dedicating those hours, building the inventory, and then also like gaining the knowledge through the years and meeting the right people and people helping me on the way was like a huge factor as well. Like family supported me when I wasn't making a lot of money off this, and also when I didn't have the inventory to do stuff like this. So yeah, it was just support of family and friends, and also me just like seeing that light at the end of the tunnel. Like even if like I spent 12 hours thrifting and I only found like one thing, you know, just having that vision of like, okay, I'm doing this, I'm putting in that work, I will find like valuable stuff, and also I will fix my method of trying to go find stuff, you know, so be more efficient, stuff like that. Yeah.
It's real simple. It's easy to just go to the store, buy a fit that's like super put together already, match colors, but to go searching for it, it's like, that's like building a car from scratch, like getting an engine, putting that stuff together. So on that point, like how does it make you feel when you put that shit together like perfectly? You got the perfect fit on it. Speaking on confidence.
It's weird, like I think like as a younger person, you know, you want to like, especially growing up in Miami, you want to like present yourself a certain way, you want to impress people, but then as you get older, you're kind of like, you know what, like that's not super to impress people. It's not like, that's not important. You know what I'm saying? It's also like, it all stems back to us. Right, to feel
good like, within. It all starts within.
Which is, and that's like the foundation of confidence too. It's like how you feel internally. So now it's like, I don't really dress for other people. I dress for myself. I dress for comfort. So like, kind of like today, I just kind of have a blank sweater. This is something I'm selling. This is something that I'm selling right now. So like I'm promoting this right now. But yeah, now I just go for really comfort and confidence. That's like my jam right now. I will say that like when I'm out selling, like I'll throw a cooler t-shirt on to get folks' attention, because I'm essentially a walking billboard right now for my inventory. So, but if it's just like a regular day, like I'm going for comfort and confidence. You know? You'll see like, I feel like fashion shifting in that way for sure, like the comfort and confidence for sure, more minimalism for sure. And then of course like you're gonna have people that want to go crazy and stuff like that. So I think it's gonna be a good balance. But comfort and confidence, that's always the way to go. I tell my clients all that all the time.
Right, and speaking on people like going high end, like, do you feel like any designer brands or high end brands are overrated?
I mean, I definitely think they're overrated for sure, 1,000%. I think like the future of like high end brands is like the custom pieces, like people that like do stitch and sew, that do painting on pieces. That is where the future of high end fashion is. I feel like the big name brands, luxury brands, it's kind of like one of those things that like you buy that to present yourself a certain way and like it's for status, you know what I'm saying? Which, hey, I'm not mad at that. Like if that's what, like, you know, if you're trying to impress a certain demographic, like that's fine. Like that's your decision. And so, but in my opinion, I feel like you don't necessarily need those brands to make an impression on somebody or present yourself. I think like, yeah, I think it's just like a little overrated. I think the hype brands. I think you can put it together like just with thrifted stuff or just like no big name brands, in my opinion. Right.
And we on Wynwood right now in Miami. Where did you find your start? Like in thrifting, where in high school and whatnot?
So I actually started doing this in North Carolina. I grew up in Miami, but then after I went to school, I moved to North Carolina. And that's actually how I got into all this. And so I thrifted obviously there in the beginning, and then now here in Miami, I just go thrifting, just go to Goodwills, go to the bins. I also buy off other sellers too. If it gets like too, it's like, because thrifting is like, it's hard. Like I'll be the first one to tell you, it's my job.
That shit like it's treasure hunting.
Yeah, you really got to go at it. So it's like, in the beginning, of course, like when it wasn't like my full-time business, like it was fun. But then like if I'm going out day to day and like it's hard to find stuff, like it's hard. You know, it's tough.
It's stressful.
I have to get like my stock right. So I'll buy off other sellers and I'll pay premium.
Right.
Thankfully, there's a bunch of other people like me that go out daily, and so they have stuff for sale and for cheaper. The margins are okay.
Right. And when you go thrifting, like what do you normally look for? Like,
so really year round, I'm looking for cool jackets, of course. Looking for dope t-shirts always. So t-shirt jackets, good pants too, and also anything that I could resell too. Like, because I'm also in there like trying to buy low, sell high. So if there's like some electronics or if there's something I know is valuable, I can resell it. Yeah.
Right. Miami, man.
I feel like it was not that loud.
Like 10 seconds ago.
Right? Yeah. It's like right when we set up, it's just going great.
Right.
But any other questions? We're good?
Yeah. One more question. So like, what's the end goal?
Okay, I got you.
Right. What's the end goal for your thrifting, your passion, your career, your hustle, your everything you're doing right now?
Okay. So really, like I mentioned before, my passion really is the environment. Like doing something impactful to like help the environment, conserve the environment. Like that's my career, like it's my life goals. I want to have a job in that realm. So in the meantime, like this is what I do. It's awesome. I love it. The fashion aspect of it. Like I get to deal with like amazing, cool young people our age. It's a good time. And so really the end goal with what I'm currently doing right now is ideally to transition into like an environmental job.
Right.
And so that's either like working for a renewable energy company, working for a nuclear energy company, just something like that's like helping the planet. Like that's like my end goal. And like so right now in the meantime, it's just supporting myself. I love it. I get to travel doing it too. It's amazing.
Right.
But I am definitely looking to transition to something more impactful. Like fashion's cool.
Right.
I just feel like it's like a grain of salt and like the bigger picture for sure.
Right. Facts.
And like yeah, so like right now essentially I'm providing recycled fashion to help the planet. But I feel like I have a bigger calling, there's a bigger impact for me to be at, you know what I'm saying? So just that's like beyond fashion. It's kind of like, yeah.
Right.
Looking at as like the earth as a whole, like that's something that's more impactful. In my opinion, that's where I want to be at.
Right. For
And
sure.
like working every day.
Right. So like, yeah, speaking on working every day and the hustle that you are on, because like it's real easy to just sit in the couch, just chill all day.
Yeah.
Do what's comfortable to you. You feel me? What made you step out, and like what makes you step out on a regular basis out of your comfort zone?
Okay. Oh man, that's a good question. That is a good question. I mean, honestly, yeah, man, like that. Trying to help the environment, that's what keeps me going, really. Like, honestly, like it gets really hard thrifting. Like I said, it's hard to find stuff, and so like to go out every day and like know that I might spend like 8-10 hours and not find anything. It's tough, you know what I'm saying? But like in the back of my mind, like I know I'm doing like a service for the planet, and also I'm doing a service to my job. I got to go get to it, you know. So like a part of me surviving, and also like for the environment, that's what keeps me going. That's what keeps me like I'll fucking be out here. You know, put myself out here. I'll chat it up with people and meet all different sorts of people from all over the world, and put myself out here and with that in mind, like to survive and also for the environment. Yeah, right. You're so right though. It's a very vulnerable place. And I was talking with like another street vendor. It's like people look at me like I'm crazy. They kind of like give me this face of like, yo, like what are you doing here? Type shit. And it's like I don't take it personal. I ask myself too. I'm like, I did it. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing here. But hey man, yeah, just like trying to survive and trying to help the planet. That's like what keeps me going.
Right. And when you doing something that's out the box, you're gonna always get that reaction. Like people like, what the fuck you doing, bro? But they'll understand later when you get where you're going. You feel me?
Exactly. Yeah, and it's something definitely I've had to like swallow the bullet on. It's just like not everyone's gonna understand it, and like they don't have to because everyone has their own opinion, and it's like damn near impossible for me to get everybody on board. So I just kind of like try to, like I said, try to see the light at the end of the tunnel, and like try to like not get fazed by people that don't understand. It's like every day, like there's people that don't understand. I try to get them on board, and they're not with it. It's just it's literally damn near impossible for me to like get everybody on board. And it's something I have to keep in mind, and just keep pushing.
Right, sure. So like, let the people know where they could find you with your Instagram, social media, all that, website if you have one. You feel me? Let them know where.
Okay. First of all, I just want to say thank you to Fumar Music for coming through, spending time out of his day to come interview me.
Sure.
In Wynwood here in Miami. You can find me on Instagram, Good Sauce Vintage. I'm on there, post stuff on the Instagram there. Post also like where I'm going to be at in Wynwood. And you can find me on Instagram, based in Miami, usually in Wynwood on the weekends. And as long as the weather is sunny, I'm out here punching that quad, providing that good, sustainable, thrifty fashion. Good Sauce Vintage. again, special thanks to Full Mom Music and coming out here, bro.
For sure, man.
I appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
For sure, bro.